Jesus, you a little tipsy?
Chad. Okay, so
Yes.
Chad.
Okay, we got you, boo. Don't worry.
So Chaz, are you okay? I was just playing. I was just last week I kept hearing that. Everybody was, "Are you okay, Commissioner?" I was like, "No." So in your opinion, oh, here come Erica, late as usual. Hey, Erica. So in your opinion, Chaz, a woman saying to a male at the date or whatever, all the women feel that way, and I said, and I agree with the Cookie and Ebby. There's a group chat, some going around. Somebody probably said his man's trash or whatever, red flag. But I don't think all the women feel that way. What's your opinion about that?
I agree. Like, I don't know who said this. Like, she didn't pull it out of her ass. Absolutely. This is what they're saying. It's
Mm-hmm.
data. Do with it as you see fit. I mean, I would have considered it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe she's trying to speak on behalf of the women because that can cause issues between her and the other ladies or even him
Mm-hmm.
and the ladies. So
Mm-hmm.
I just think she was really trying to help him out and he just didn't receive it.
Really? Oh wow. Okay. I didn't think about that. That's a pretty good point. Erica, hello, mama.
Hola.
Okay, so we are speaking about the part. Well, we're all over the place here. It's per usual. Talking about how she's Nicole. I'm sorry. What's her name? Not Nicole. Donna telling Darius that she didn't like him. Pretty much, in my opinion, she said other women feel the same way, and I wanted to hear your opinion about that because I felt like speak for all women, but not all women feel that way. I didn't get that in any interactions with the show that we saw.
Well, I think I don't know, I'm kind of in the middle on it because I feel like she didn't create it. So I feel like at least someone else, she discussed it with someone else in the group, right? So she's not the only person who thought that way. But I feel like and she kind of he didn't take it very well, and she kind of brought it to him incorrectly, because if her point was, I'm going to sit down to you, maybe I got the wrong vibe, let's see what you're on, and kind of explaining it, but she was kind of like, basically, I got the wrong vibe, it was based on my intuition, I'm going to double down, I ain't the only one. So I feel like anybody who came at you like that, you would be defensive with. And it seemed like, instead of saying, to me, it's like, if you really felt that way or whatever, I kind of also felt like she was adding the additional women to kind of give it credibility. Like, I ain't the only one. So it's not just me. I ain't crazy. We all think you are like this. Or, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, it's different to say, okay, we had the discussion and the men, like, it's different if you're on one of those type of dates. But she kind of pulled them aside, and it wasn't, I think, in the confessionals or the way she was kind of
It
portraying.
wasn't. I'm gonna be real,
I'm trying to do him a
Erica.
favor.
It wasn't necessary.
Yeah,
It
but she was
wasn't.
like, I'm trying to do him a favor. Like, I'm cool. If I was your friend, I would want you. That's how she kind of phrased it. But then
So
she came in so hard. It's like,
come on, Erica.
now
Period.
you're just coming in hard, and he's
Yes.
not going to receive it because she did come in
Come on,
hard.
Erica. So
And I was like,
come on, Erica.
okay, you didn't have to say all of that. Like, because basically you're like, I think you fake. Everybody else think you fake. And it's like, so so I felt like she came in a little bit harsh, and if she was really trying to come in and tone it as, I'm your friend looking out for you, she didn't quite come, that's how I thought she was going to approach him with it. Like, because to me, you just met him one time, you didn't, how long were you there? So it's
Come
like,
on,
okay,
Erica.
you would be like, I got the wrong impression, but why don't you show me something different? But instead you're like, I got the wrong impression and everybody else think you great, and who wouldn't
I
be
love
defensive?
that. No, Dina.
Okay.
I mean, Dina. Go ahead. Go ahead, Abby. Go ahead.
I just want to say we do have to take in fact the factor of the editing of this,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and the she may have come at it that way. Like, listen, bro, let me holler at you in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you cool. Well, we want you to succeed here, but you're giving off weird vibes. Nigga, you
Mm-hmm.
might be, and he maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like like everybody don't know how to give constructive criticism to everyone in which a manner in which they can receive it. And some people are like me, where I've been told I'm mean because I be brutally honest with people, and my mama is trying to teach me how to sugarcoat stuff and saying when she's like, give them a compliment, give them the criticism, and then give them another compliment. But I'm really, hey nigga, this is what it is. So what we gonna do? What you gonna do? Because this is how it comes. And everybody is not built to accept criticism in that. And so, and some people just don't know how to deliver that type of information to where it's soft and gushy so that you don't immediately jump into your feelings. And so you repel whatever it is that person is saying to you because they didn't give it to you in a manner in which you could act it. So that's where I think it was, it's on the medication that the people ER gave me for my pneumonia. if I sound crazy.
Oh my God, Jesus, pneumonia.
Yeah. We on borrowed time till this medicine kick in. So
Jesus Christ. Okay, so I'm happy you talking before the kicks in. So so she's I want to Ashley and Darius were vibing. Vince, Emily, Chris, and Nicole Emily and Vince had a rough start. Emily to me had a rough start with pretty much everybody, and I'm just being transparent. The boobs up, and this is not shade to her. This is her style, her look, whatever. It's not shade, but her boobs being out was the conversation piece. Even Tommy mentioned it. He even said, "Yeah, I noticed that." So to me, I kind of felt like she wasn't going to make it no matter what, because aesthetically, the men didn't see it for her. Dina, your thoughts? I'm saying Donna.
Okay, so this comment applies to Darius and Emily. We thank you for your application, but we have decided to move on with candidates that would better fit the position. Feel free to reapply once you gain more experience.
My God,
that's all I can say. Cause I just going on, I had to get my little Darius coming in, but the comment fits for both of them because I mean, even though she did say, "Oh, I feel like I'm being interviewed," but you're failing still because you're not. Like, he's asking you open-ended questions and you're giving closed question answers. So you weren't trying to go back and forth with the conversation, number one. And as far as Darius go, take your painted on beard and
no, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Wait. Oh my God. So hold on. Let me just say this. Darius is a genuine person. I'm sorry to say this. I have to say this.
Okay, I'm going by what
I know.
I've not met him in person, so I'm going by what I saw on TV. And Darius and Bello do not stand out in the rain. It is highly not recommended because your beard and your hairline will be washed off.
Wow. I met both in person. I don't know.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't raining.
Oh my God. Is every oh my Jesus. Okay, so oh my God. We are going to oh my God. So okay. Stop. Oh my Jesus, help me, please. I can't say y'all. So Vince and Vince had an awkward start with who was it? Oh, who was the shoe? Oh, Emily, because Emily was going hard in the paint, telling him about how to raise his kids. Now, when I want to ask, because we all have children here, Vince felt some way with Emily because they were having a conversation talking about the kids and everything. And he did not like the fact that she was telling him how to raise his child. I'm gonna go back to Dina. I'm scared. Your thoughts, because we all have children, but Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I was waiting on this one.
Come on, Lord Jesus. I'm gonna go to Ebony next.
First of all, sit down and have several seats.
Oh my
I'm
God.
agree with Vince when he said, there's no rule book. We all, do the best we can do, whatever it was he said in his little confessional. But she was like, so you just gonna let them watch whatever? Ma'am, you are so far removed. Your child is 23. He has a 13 and a 15-year-old, or 13, 16, whatever it is. Let me tell you something. I am very far removed. I would never, ever, 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 ever in this day and age today tell somebody how to parent a teenager, because the rules and regulations of a teenager today are not the same rules and regulations of when my kids were teenagers 15 years ago, 10 to 15 years ago. So the world is ever evolving. Like, your child is 23. We talking about when your child was a teenager, that was 7, 8 years, 10 years ago. And then she said it with such conviction, like she
I mean,
wrote a book on how to rear your child. Oh, you just gonna let them watch whatever? You
right.
gonna do this? You gotta be involved. You gotta do this. Like, woman, I just met you 30 seconds ago.
Exactly.
We don't now. I can understand if you were seeking advice, like, seriously, not just like, how did you do it? Just making small talk. Like, if I
Right.
called you up and I was like, hey, girl, I got these two teenagers over here. I'm about to lose my mind. What do I need to do? Then I could see you laying down the law. But just because you work with kids doesn't mean you're an expert with. So, yeah, sit down, have several seats. And if you know so much, go write a book and get paid and get the fuck off this show.
Oh my God. So,
Oh,
Ebby, uh, your thoughts about that? I'm like, I don't know.
Because that's a lot.
It was.
Being the resident Mima up here, um, you don't
And
really
she is.
never you'll never give you'll never give people advice like that, like deep advice, like, oh well, you should do this and you should do blah 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 blah, blah and all of that,
Right.
unless they like he was asking for like surface stuff, like he wasn't asking for you to get that deep. And let's
Agreed.
I don't know if we got here yet in this same conversation,
Mhm.
but it ties into the conversation about children. When they had, and I think this is the same lady, when they had the conversation about religion in the home, and she said, well, he can do whatever he believes in, and then I'll also tie in how I feel about the situation, and you can go from there. I'm sorry, and not to say homes where the parents have two different religions won't work. That's what I'm saying. But
Okay.
it'll make it more difficult, especially when you bring children into the situation. How we ever be out, you can't be unevenly yoked with some man who's what is that man follow? Who is he following? Who is he being held accountable to? Like, that seems like a big thing. Maybe it's just me, because my job as your wife is to be your helpmate, to be your revealer, to be your neck while you're the head. That And for us to be on two completely different thought patterns as to who God is to us and who we serve and how that seems cool. That's to me, just me, Lilo Abby. That seemed crazy. That don't seem crazy to nobody else. Y'all didn't. Nobody else
Destined for
listen to that
destruction.
conversation when they started talking about religion and how she. Well, he could just. Girl, that makes it. Do you know what marriage is? Like, do you
Right.
really have you never been like maybe easy? I don't know.
No, I don't think.
Has she never?
Mhm.
Did anybody
No, I
look
don't.
at
I
that
don't
and
think.
be like,
No, I don't think you're crazy. I get what you're saying, Chad. You laughing, but I'm curious your time. I'm sorry, your time. Your response on this.
Are we talking about Trumlet?
All of it. Just give
No,
your
no,
opinion.
we're talking about Trimily, right?
Who?
Trimily.
Is that her name?
Well,
Who?
there's one, there's two, and then there's three. Trimily.
I'm so lost.
Not her with her
Trimily.
titties.
Oh
Right.
my God. But yes.
And that's the irony of her trying to say you got to be careful what your kids see every day.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, you're a huge walking contradiction because you're showing us what we got to see every day. I can only imagine what your child saw every day with
Oh no.
those titties.
Mm-mm.
So like, I don't know. I just thought it
Oh
was kind of silly.
My God, on today.
what
So
the fuck?
are you saying that you feel like she is a bigger breasted
Mhm.
woman? So I
Okay.
mean, are you saying like, do you think she's dressing like that in front of her children? Are you
Oh,
saying what they see
absolutely.
on
Good
the?
question.
Yeah.
Are you
Oh
saying that
wow.
just because of how she's portraying herself on TV, what they
Mm.
have
No.
to
So like
say?
when she had this huge conviction about what you got to parent your children and watch what they're
Mhm.
pay attention to what they're
Mhm.
watching.
Mhm.
I was just making the contradiction that she has all of this out every
Mm.
day on national TV. We just met her, so I can only imagine her kids have seen it like every day.
Mm.
So like you're just being a contradiction. I just thought it was silly.
Yeah, she's giving hot girl summer even in the winter.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, she was selling something that you really want to. There was no enticing right there. It was just in your face.
So I oh my God, I hate it.
It
That's
is a
all.
lot. It is a
Oh
It
my
lot.
was it
God.
was it was a lie.
I,
I'm sorry. I'm gonna say this. A
wait,
woman can dress how she wants to dress
not me
to
as the
have
minister,
her.
the only person
No,
who
no,
don't have
hold
a problem
on.
with her. And her
Wait, hold on. Let me say this. A woman can have her breasts out or whatever. I've always been the kind of person like, look, a woman can dress how she wants to dress. But guys, I did give out membership. So if you were in chat, you probably got membership gifts. Congratulations. So I understand what you guys are saying, but I also look at the other side. Like, look, women have fought for a long time to be able to dress how they want to dress, whether it's showing the legs, skirt, arm, whatever. And for men to not be able to handle it, to me was a little crazy. I'm just going to be transparent. How are you a man and telling me y'all tripping because she led with sexuality when
Mhm.
men lead with sexuality 24 hours a day, 365 days a year? I was a little confused by that. I'm just going to be transparent. Abby, go ahead because I feel.
Mm.
Abby?
okay, so yeah, I don't. As a woman who has boobs and I like
Mm,
my boobs and I like
mm,
looking at my boobs, and so that sometimes in my clothing my boobs be on display. I have no issues with her and her boobs.
mm,
If they want a more conservative, like my boobs aren't out all the time, but there are going to be
mm,
certain occasions. And when it's trying to grab some male attention, titties will be out. Like
mm,
I don't understand how they getting 2 plus 2 and getting 7 instead.
mm,
I
Now
can
some
tell you
men
how they.
like a woman to be. Some men are would like a more modest woman, and that's wonderful for you.
mm,
Um, and depending on the man that I'm with, if we truly on this walk together and all that stuff, I take into his thoughts into consideration with how I'm dressed. Yes, that happens as well. Because
mhm.
as a good wife, you sometimes you will submit to your husband.
Right.
But if having a hot meanwhile summer, titties will be out. Booted. Like I don't understand. And that doesn't make me any less
It
of
does
a
not.
good woman. That doesn't mean I'm out here fucking on everything. That's not what that means. That just means I got titties and I like to look at them. I give you a little sneak peek of what
Mhm.
I got going on. Like I don't like I've never how you gonna equate me possibly a little more provocative than you like in your eyes to the oh she's not relationship, she's not ready to love,
Mhm.
she's not huh.
I can tell you why.
That don't it
Because
don't it don't compute for
the
me.
body
Tell
was
me
not
why,
matching
honey.
the personality. The body was not matching the personality.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
if
tell
they
you
don't
that.
Yeah.
like you, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
And
Right,
that's
and
Okay.
the
look,
bottom line.
that was my
yeah,
that was gonna be
exactly.
my next point.
Her
We said
attitude was stank, and they didn't. I don't know why they
Oh
didn't
God,
go on it.
who's that to thing?
I
yes,
don't know
yes.
if it was the editing, but I was like, we have seen
Emily,
way worse dressers on this show, faux
Mm.
show. Okay. She had a good, well lifted bra, but she
I
wasn't
mean, lift it,
wearing
baby.
nothing too crazy.
Mhm.
So, and then the one guy was talking about her makeup.
she
Well, was it
was.
her makeup or was the fact that she was talking to you about how to raise your kids? You know what I'm saying? You really didn't like what she had to say to you, and which with good reason. And then even the way when they were telling her about herself, even her whole attitude, I was like, oh, she's getting eliminated because she's not even taking the criticism. So she had an
Hmm.
attitude even in the elimination. So
Hmm.
Well,
it
before that, I feel like she had an attitude,
that's what
Erica.
I'm saying.
Most
She did
definitely.
exactly. That's what my point is that she's had sort of, and then the guy was like, "Well, it's not your rusting bee face."
Right?
She had that
It was
face
a
the
lie.
whole time, right? And she had an attitude to go with it. So they can focus on what she was dressing and stuff. But if she was like sweet and geeky, then we
Mm.
wouldn't be talking about her boobs
Come
being
on,
out.
Erica.
We would have just
But
been
but
like,
Erica, let's be real, ladies. Let's be real. Her boobs was out for most of the episodes, even the skating one. And I'm not judging her. I'm not saying just how you want to dress, but you know how society is. It's almost like, and this is gonna sound, and I might not get an interview, which is fine. You forced your boobs on us. You had to
no,
No,
show up.
no, she
no,
forced
No,
her
no,
Mm.
attitude
I
no,
on us.
no
no.
She
no
forced
no.
that
Listen,
badass
Wait wait
attitude
wait
on
hold
wait
on,
us.
hold
wait.
on,
You
hold
said
on.
wait. Let me
We
say this.
talked
Hold on.
about this.
Hold on. Wait
We
wait. Let me
talked
finish.
about this last
Donna,
season.
let me
When
finish this.
people like you,
Donna,
you
hold on.
can do what you want
Dina,
to do.
Dina, let me
And
finish this.
nobody liked her because
Dina,
her attitude
I
was
get it.
stank.
No, her attitude was stank, yes, but there have been previous, I can't remember names, no shade nobody else,
So
that
they
pushed the,
nitpick
no,
little
Dina,
things
Dina,
that really ain't the
no,
main issue because
there
they
have been,
don't want to say her attitude stank.
Dina, there have been other cast members who boobs were pushed up, and this is
I
why,
know, and
again,
that's exactly my point. The people who had boobs out, buns out before had bubbly personalities.
no,
They
that's
got
not what I'm gonna
along with
say. Oh
multiple
my God.
people. They had multiple connections. She didn't have a connection with not even a rock in the room, okay? She had a stank attitude.
It
She was
wasn't
trying
just
to tell
that.
everybody what to
Somebody
do.
said, no,
And we
Dina,
say this all
Dina,
the time.
it wasn't
People
just
who you
that.
like got a different set of rules for people who you don't like.
But Dina, some of the men said specifically she is not aesthetically pleasing. So
Because they
before
was
Dina,
Mm.
nitpicking.
Dina, no, ma'am. I'm
Yes, they
sorry.
were
Dina,
nitpicking.
hold on. She literally had her boobs pushed up to her chin. So to me, it's like, girl, yes, you have boobs. Do I need to see your entire boob is besides the nipple? No. I'm sorry.
And I'm trying to told you
Too
that
much.
some people will nitpick on a certain thing that they can get away with saying versus saying your attitude stank. You think you better than everybody and you telling everybody how to run their life. So they're gonna say, do you know how dumb it sounds for 10, 9 men, however many is left, to say, oh my God, you're leading with sexuality when 90% of the men want to hit on the first night? Do you know how
Hey,
dumb that sounds?
I said that. I
So
agree
they
with you on
don't
that
want to
part.
tell her her attitude stank.
But it's not just the attitude; it's more
Okay.
than that. They didn't like the way she looked, and I'm being.
Okay. Well,
No, they did.
that's
Hold
even
on, wait,
worse to say. So
Dina,
now they're gonna
Dina,
again. That
hold on,
goes
wait,
back to my point where
Dina,
they're
hold
gonna
Wait,
on,
nitpick on
wait,
something
wait,
else that is
everybody,
safer
hold on,
to
wait,
say.
everybody, stop. So what I'm saying
Dina.
is, Dina,
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what Dina is saying as far as a man looking for an excuse. I actually agree with what Dina is saying because yes, a man will use for an easy way out, especially on a show like this. I'm gonna eliminate her because say knowing that men come with sexuality from the drop. So I 100% agree with her. But there were some men who were transparent and said, I do not like how she looks, but said it professional. And a lot of the men did not, they weren't attracted to her. She even said, because to me, the way she handled it was awesome. She was like, I get it. Some weren't attracted to me, but leading with the whole sexual thing was a bit weird. Now, Chaz, your thoughts about that, and Cookie, I want to hear, because to me, it's like men lead with sex. We all know that. No shade, and y'all come my comments, say whatever, but y'all do. Chaz, your thoughts. Hopefully, you ate enough to kind of chill.
Wait, wait. With her leading with what?
Leading her, okay. So the guy were pretty much saying her leading with sexuality, her boobs out, whatever, was the reason why they eliminated her. But like Dina said, like we all say, men, sex is right there immediately. But at the same time, what are your thoughts about that? Because I said her breast was to her chin. But again, I'm not a man, so I'm asking you.
I think Vince's definition was like, or his description was the funniest and most accurate. Like, we don't want that out there like that. And I think she did lead with her assets. And she had a very standoffish attitude. She led with that. I don't know. I didn't find her to be like, she wasn't my type. I would not have like gravitated towards her either for the attitude and just for how she presented herself from day one, and then she just continued doing that. Like, leave something to the imagination. I want to think about that. I don't want that in my face. Just and then it's in my friends' faces or my it's in everybody's face. It's like, nah.
Interesting.
Well, what about the firefighter whose booty was out? You know what I'm saying? Remember, she had the pants, her whole booty was out one episode. So my thing is, we've seen crazy people dressed in these over the seasons, and if they like you, it's fine.
Okay.
And I do know that, at least from Love and Marriage Detroit, that Detroit does seem to have more of a spiritual spin on their shows than some of the other places. So maybe that's why it's becoming such a thing here. Because I'm like, we've seen people got eliminated, like was it Dallas, the girl? I mean, we've seen some crazy outfits where I'm like, where is she going? Right. I mean, really crazy. And that's the thing, like, but for whatever reason, I feel with her, it was a combination of the attitude. But I do agree with you in that if they were really attracted to her outside of, I don't think it was really her boobs. I think some people just didn't think she was cute or they didn't like
come
her,
on now.
like how her looks. But I think they just said her boobs. They said her boobs and they said the makeup. And I was like, what have we seen? I mean, we're not even talking about the makeup jobs we've seen on this show. Like, I won't even hurt nobody's feelings from old episodes. But we've seen some crazy wigs, we've seen crazy makeup, and we've seen even crazier outfits on everybody.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, if you have, at the end of the day, it's your personality that's ringing through. So it's like, to me, if you have all this stuff, because I felt like Dominique's outfit was really revealing the first episode. I mean, people had some like whatever outfits, but at the end of the day, if you're standing there looking at people crazy and talking to them crazy, then like, why are we here? You know what I mean? Because I'm not even just trying to smash at that point. Right. They're not even trying to smash at that point. So I did feel like they were kind of, us shaming her or something, instead of just being real and being like, girl, your attitude is what's doing it. Because it's like, you know what I mean? Because everybody loved that firefighter, and she had some kind of, her stuff. She was big busted, she was thick, and everybody loved it because she had a nice personality. I mean, she didn't whatever, but she had a better personality. She wasn't, other than the other firefighters, she wasn't stank to people. Right. But this girl was. And I feel like once you're because remember how they rode Devin so hard because of his outfit.
The Usher boy.
And you know what I mean? And then once he kind of just chilled out and kind of acted himself, now all of a sudden he's, you know what I mean? Did we talk about the guy with the perm, the blowout? His hair looks crazy every scene. I'm like, and
Corday, I think his name Corday.
cadre or whatever, and they act like he, and I'm like, and he starts talking, and I'm like, I don't even know what he's talking about right now,
Yep.
and he has a blowout. Like what?
I was waiting to
But
talk about that because that was ridiculous.
but they love him, but they like him.
They
So then it's
do. They
like he
do.
can't do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? Once they like you, if you can kind of click with somebody either aesthetically or personality, then you can slide on that stuff. But
That's light on it. Mm-mm.
you can't not click on both. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's her issue is because she's, and I don't even think it's really how she's dressing. I think that's what they're saying because they don't want to like be politically incorrect and say they're just not attracted to her. And between that and the attitude, it's like, she didn't really have a hope. And then the way she acted during the elimination, I was like, woo, because I mean, she was cool. She didn't really get stank, but when she said the men were leading with their lameness, I was like, screech.
I was like,
Not
bro, when
wrong.
she said that, I was just like, what in the hell? I was like, I'm so.
She not
That
wrong.
was funny.
I was like, oh my goodness. When you're not ready to be eliminated.
It was a lot. So there's a lot going on. We've gone so much off the rails that I'm just like completely okay. So, I'm just like here's what it is. So, I know the religious conversation. Yeah, I spoke about it briefly about Donna. Spoke about the religious background and everything. Donna, to me, I don't think she realized that they weren't feeling her at all. But I want to get into the Dom and Bello matching outfits. Him speaking about the Muslim situation, about her dad. I'm sorry, her dad was a preacher. She had miscarriages and does not want to try to have a baby naturally. That to me seems very heavy if you are meeting somebody for the first time, stating they look, I think you're attractive, blah blah blah. But yeah, I'm not giving you more. I'm not giving you more kids because I've had miscarriages. I'm scared to have a baby. To me, I want everybody to respond to this. How that's a difficult conversation to have with the person you are a potential love interest. I'm starting with Chad because he's a male and he was on the show, obviously, and I'm gonna go to Cookie. If you are on this reality TV show and you're trying to date, a female is telling you, "Hey, how you doing?" Blah blah blah. I've had 3 miscarriages, so for me, it's gonna be a surrogate or adoption. That's heavy. Come on, Chad. What are your thoughts?
But what's heavier is that she's already lost 2 children.
Come on, Chad.
So when she said something that I don't know if I said the same thing on my season, but when you lose a child, you do go, many of us go through periods, decades of not wanting to try again.
Right.
So I thought she was being very vulnerable, and I really connected with that because that's really part of my story in life also. It's just very, very deeply, and sometimes you don't want to get over the loss, and not wanting to let that go so that you can remember, can sometimes prevent you from having it again. I'm not saying that's her
Right.
Dominique's situation. I'm just simply saying, like, I think she was being very vulnerable and very honest about her losses and how that's affected even now her decision about if she wants to try to carry on her own. And I think, and being a woman in her 40s, she's wise to talk about that up front because you don't want to lay that expectation with these fellas. And like, not everyone's aware of when like high risk pregnancies really kick in for.
Right. Exactly. Wow. Very well said, Abby. Of course, you're a grandmother. You have kids. Um, and I've had a miscarriage. I will say this in my younger days. I haven't had as many as she stated, but to have a miscarriage at all, to get a new relationship, a man wants children. Her being so transparent, but so vulnerable, I respect that. Abby, your thoughts about her saying that?
Yeah, I agree with Chaz. And children are a deal breaker. So,
Mm.
you know, for some men, children and how the children are conceived and all of those things, that's a deal breaker for them.
Mhm.
So for her to be very upfront, listen, before we even, hey, I'm just gonna tell you this is what it is now. I
Wow.
don't want to get 6 months, a year, and some change into it, and we have really developed feelings for each other, and we think we could get married and take this further, and then we
Right.
get to this conversation, and then you know time is you decide that's not what you want, or time is
Mhm.
wasted, feelings are wasted, all of those things. So I am always of the school that I'm gonna let front what it is now. So there is never any confusion. Um, no, I didn't trick you into falling in love with me just to bring this out
Mhm.
about. And I really want children and blah blah blah. I think it's perfectly appropriate what she did, and I don't have a problem with it. Again, this is an S what we call accelerated version of dating. So while this
Right. Speed
conversation
limit.
may not normally have happened like this fast, like hi, my name is Ebony and this is what it is, but because this is an accelerated thing, this conversation will probably take 2-3 dates in.
Mhm.
You're getting it now because we don't have that much time. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Exactly.
So it makes sense.
I mean, Dana, your thoughts, and then Eric after, please.
I'm in total agreement with the previous two statements.
Jesus Christ, Eric, Erica.
Well, I agree with what everyone has said, but I do see what you're saying in terms of the miscarriage part
Okay.
being sort of heavy and really
Yes.
deep. But also, I feel like at her age, realistically, it's
Mhm.
like we would have to start having kids tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
she's well over 35. It's clearly a geriatric pregnancy.
Oh
People do.
shit! Damn.
I mean, that's what they say when you're
Oh
over
my
35.
god.
God damn. I was there.
Oh my
I was
I
like,
mean, that's
I
what they
was
say
like,
when you're over 35. Like that's just I'm just saying. I mean, that's what they say. You know what I'm saying? Outside of I mean,
I
that's what they
wasn't ready.
say. Like I'm
Not,
not
not,
making
not,
it
not
up.
the geriatric senior pregnancy. God
I
damn.
mean,
I was
that's what
like,
they call it. And
That's what they
and
call it.
Sophia, the
Any
golden girl.
pregnancy
it is
like
riskier. I
30,
mean,
I
there's a
think.
lot of
That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
there's a lot of things involved
Wow.
in that. And so depending
Mhm.
on how
Wow.
fertile you may be, you know what I'm saying? The idea that to me, that's the thing. If you're dating someone who's 41 and you're coming at them like, I want to have a son. So
Right.
like if you have a girl, she's just gonna keep going. You know what I mean? Like she's
Oh
not
shit.
30.
Damn. This
She's
is
not in
not
her 30s. So
medieval times.
it's not really, you know what I mean? So
Realistic. That this, I guess for me is Cookie. I want you weighing this because to me it's like to me it's like I had my children early because of the old stigma of you know you get married, you have your kids early, blah blah blah, because you can't have children at a certain age. Not that people told me that, but I always was told and researched at a certain age is a struggle. So I had my children, all my kids around my early 20s to 30s, whatever. So to me, I always just went that way. Now, but that being said, I was always told after 40 or 50, trying to have a child can be difficult. It can hurt your health, all kind of things. So I had my children earlier in life. It's not shade to anybody else who wants to wait till later on in life. I was just always told it's easier to do it that way. Now, with that being said, hearing this statement and researching even as after I have our children, it is better to have your children to me at a younger age for your body or whatever. But to me, it's like having children after a certain age of 40 is difficult for the mother and the child. Why would you risk that and not have the children early? I've always said that because you put the child at risk and the mother. That's my opinion.
right.
Chaz,
I mean, go
go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead. No, Erica. Then I want to hear Chaz. Go ahead, Erica.
No, what I was gonna say is, I mean, I'm not saying because some people don't have the opportunity, don't have the chance, don't
I
have
get it,
whatever.
Erica. I get it, but you're
No,
putting
no,
a
no.
child at risk.
No, no,
I'm
no, no.
sorry.
I know, and I
Okay.
agree. And if you really want to have a child in your life, and that's your dream or whatever, then
Hmm.
you should have your dream. But I do. But to me, I feel like she didn't necessarily have to do the miscarriage discussion, because I think that's a deeper,
Right.
just a deeper discussion with someone who probably will really be in your life or whatever. But
Mhm.
I do feel like, and that's what I said in the first episode, when you have women who are in their 40s and you're mixing them with these men who are in their 30s who don't have children, that's
Mhm.
always going to be the initial discussion, because whether you have had kids or you don't have kids, your clock in 40 is a big thing. It's not the same like
Right.
when you're even at 35. So I feel like it's a valid discussion. And then honestly, to go back to what we were saying even before, the childbearing thing, kind of with the whole Donna thing, I was confused with their religious discussion too, because
Mhm.
I'm like, you're Muslim and
That
her
was a lot.
is a pastor, but
Mhm.
she's kind of like, but we can make it work, like, huh?
Mhm.
And then she's like, oh, how many wives? She kind of made some little jokes about it, but it's like he's so attracted to her, he's gonna let it slide, I
Right.
guess. Like, so are you? Wait, what? So what? Wait, where are you all praying? Is she kneeling with you? Like what?
Oh Lord, a lot was
I
happening.
I was like, so in both of those conversations, I feel like the people had their spiritual beliefs, but if they liked the person enough, they halfway were kind of backing down from it, which
Mm.
I think, like, on top of, is she going to have children by surrogacy or not?
Right.
Like, are they going to be Muslim or Christian? Is what I'm still confused on. And so I think there were a few discussions where they were so into each other, they were just kind of saying stuff, but in actuality, I was like, okay, so you need a surrogate, because if you need to have a son, obviously
Okay, so
you would have to have a surrogate
get
that.
to the religion part. Okay, so Abby and Dina, the religion part. Abby, I'm sorry with you, because religion, I know your thoughts about the religion part. What they were saying. Your thoughts.
Okay. Don't be unevenly yoked with a non-believer. That's a conversation. Like, um, do you expect this convert to be in a relationship with you? Do you expect you're going to be asked to convert to be in a relationship? The other person, like, how is that? How what are we? How is that going to work? How are we doing that? God, you building a divided house, because a house divided against stand. So why are we planning for failure? Like, what are we doing? Are we so to be in a relationship that we just take anything? Is relationship is okay? I don't know, because religion is a big thing for me, so it's not for other people. So maybe they all right really in the. I don't know. My God, I don't know. It don't make sense to me. It do not make sense to me at all. Don't. How you?
Wow. Okay. So everybody, Chaz is a new papa, and of course, this is a long road you have here going. And I'm sure discussions have been had. How do you feel about this? Because I can say for myself, having my children, because the father of the kids, we both Christians, went to church, Southern church. It was never an issue. I never had to deal with this. So I'm asking Chaz, how, I'm not asking your particular business. Speak on if you want to. Religion is a big part when you are married and have raising children. You are in the very beginning stage of this. So your thoughts about this, sir?
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. The reason why they neither one of them really cared about their religious beliefs is because they want to stay on the show. So they're both okay with, I'll accommodate your religion, sure. I just want to make it another week. I'm just being honest. I don't. I mean, my thing is this. I think you have to have a level of
That's
acceptance. if you're going to be with someone of a different religion.
Okay.
My wife is Catholic. I'm non-denomination. I
Mhm.
don't see the conflict. She doesn't see the conflict. So,
Okay. Love it.
but you know, being like Muslim and Christianity, I don't know how that can work, but I'm sure it can work. You just got to find, like in any relationship, making the relationship work. You got to find what makes that move forward.
Hmm. Okay. So let's talk about the lounge because the men's
You
the
skipped
noise.
me.
I'm sorry, Dina. Go ahead. I'm sorry, baby. Go ahead, Dina. Give your opinion, please, about this, about the religions. Go ahead, and then we'll go to
Okay,
the
first
lounge.
of all, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Let's start there. So
Mhm.
I'm not
Come on.
accepting anything because Jesus don't ask me to give up pork. So therefore,
Mhm.
I'm standing 10 toes down on my religion. It's a deal breaker. It's non-negotiable. All of those things. And for
Mhm.
you to sit on it makes a person seem like wishy-washy because
Mhm.
if you going to church every Sunday or Wednesday, or even if you don't go all the time, but you read the Bible or you watch it on TV, or you claim that that's your religion and you have strong convictions in that, and then to sit up there and say, oh well, that's not a big deal. Like, people, I don't think people understand, like, when you are of a certain religion, the traditions, rules, regulations, beliefs, all that stuff, you just don't be like, oh, I could work with that. And then you can't have no bacon in your house for a whole month. Like, what?
And I will
Or you
to
can't have
piggy
holidays, or, you can't do this or you can't do that, or you know what I'm saying. And then you want to give your child Christmas, but then this religion don't believe in Christmas, or this, all the other different things. I'm being petty with the pork, but that's because it's a thing of mine. But anyways, I'm just saying there's all these different rules and regulations in different religions, and then you're gonna sit here and be like, on the surface, it's not that big of a deal. Like, even with Chaz, he's non-denominational, she's Catholic. There's a lot of same traditions, like when people be like, I'm a Christian, but then "Oh, I'm a Catholic." There's a lot of the same traditions, so maybe you don't have to forego every tradition in each one of y'all's religion. You can merge and make it work. But when you go from Christian to Muslim, there's a big difference there.
Right.
and also what I was going to piggyback on that and say is that it's one thing, like Dina was saying, if you're like, you only go on holidays, you ain't been in years, all this other stuff. But once she said her father was a pastor, I was like, okay, wait, stop. What? You know what I mean? Like, so unless you're rebelling as a pastor's kid, you didn't just go every Sunday. You were held to a certain standard within the church that you were within. Okay. So it's not just like she don't know the rules. I don't really, unless she's really protesting. So that's what made it to me seem so fake, because at least the other girl was like, well, if you're a good person and your religion is good, I can go with it. All right, as long as you don't pull out no tarot cards, maybe we can work with this. But her
Not
father,
tarot
and
card.
her whole family is deep in the church and church leaders. So to me, she threw it off a little bit too. Chaz was nice and said they wanted to stay on the show. I felt like they wanted to smash, but now
Oh,
as,
Jesus
as
Christ.
he brought up wanting to stay on the show, I will give her more credit since her father is a pastor. So I'll
Mhm.
say, okay, maybe she's just trying to stay on another week. But the way they kind of just threw it out there, and he's like,
Mhm.
well, my father is such and such, and she didn't know what it was, and I honestly didn't know either. And so it's like, okay, so is his father someone up in the Muslim church as well? Like,
Lord have mercy.
and y'all both acting like it ain't nothing. Like, do your parents not have TV? Like, what are we saying? So, um, that's why I think either that was editing, or like Chaz said, that part just didn't seem authentic. So it's like you all have some other agenda, because this conversation isn't grounded in what you both have led us to believe
Right.
is what who you are. So
So the gentleman lounge, I thought it was nice. The whole lounge was nice. I did. They kind of wanted to point that out, I felt like. Um Darius says that Ashley's a whole vibe. I feel like Devin likes Shannon. they all called her Claire Huxtable, Michelle Obama. They said Nicole was classy. Nicole's the one who got me. As far as the event, she was calling me, helped me with the getting there. She's pretty cool in person. I didn't get to see her, but she helped me as far as getting there. Vince says that um wait, I'm sorry, I messed up. Steven likes Lauren. He called her the fun mom, a fun wife. Bello says Dom was high emotional IQ. Xavier says aesthetically, Emily is somebody I would not go after on a personal level. I don't think we're a match. Bello says a lot of hyper sexuality. Talking about Emily again. I did not circle back. There's nothing there. Vince says I'm not feeling her. Vince said she leads with her breasts and all the makeup she has on. You cannot get to her. I did my best to have a conversation with her, just too much. Chris says that Donna is not cool. He didn't like what she was saying. I did not feel a spark. Darius said, Donna, we did not have the best experience. She prejudged him, and her face was turned up the entire time. I put my notes here, Jack. We talk about it. Donna and Steven, Vince and Emily. Donna, judgmental. She says Darius, she didn't like Darius. Emily actually asked a question, what can I do? Asking for feedback. Vince says she has a barrier. He even said a resting bitch face that they couldn't get past, and there was some time we could not open up. And she said, if the man would have shut up, this is what Donna said. I a few was for religious concern would it be support. She was like, how would that work? She was like, I don't know if they're different from the other season. The women were actually responding what the men were saying and asking for depth, in my opinion, compared to the other seasons. What would they do differently? Just asking for feedback. It's just some things what Detroit did that no other season have not done. I felt like trying to convince the person who was talking to him to not let them go. That's the impression I got. So, Dina, starting with you, the exit interview that they normally have.
Okay,
If
I
you're different, go
want
ahead.
to
Go ahead.
know.
Go ahead.
I don't know his name because I can't keep track of these people. But the dude in the black, white shirt or whatever that was eliminating Emily, why is he there? Because I feel like he batting for the same team as me. Why? Because his body movements was definitely given he could be my wingman. And that's all I got. She needed to go home. I'm over it.
My God, my God, my God, my wowzers, Bowsers.
Am I wrong though? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't have no problem with being wrong. But the way when he was
Nobody said you
describing
was
her
wrong,
body
friend.
and all his little movements and his body language, I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm my bad. But either he need to wake up or somebody need to put a mirror in front of him. I'm sorry.
You choose violence always.
My
Violence.
God.
Violence.
I'm still mad that I woke up out of my tequila nap to watch this trash. That's all I got. Next caller.
My God is on. I ain't holding for that, friend. I only had nothing for that.
Okay, Evie, you next.
My God. Listen, it's awesome. Listen, they don't like the fact that her titties is out and she got on wearing leather pants and jackets and high heel shit because her attitude is nasty. And it's just like with niggas. Sometimes the more a nigga talk to you, the less attractive he gets. Same. Same the fuck same is what's happening here. So she got to go. God be with her. Hopefully she will find her forever nigga and soften up for him. That's all I got. I don't know what else to tell you. Okay. Chaz, you next.
Tag, you're it.
Wait, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, I'll
The
go and then you
question
can go.
is, how do you feel about the elimination
Oh, I think the
and the
right.
and the way actually the conversation during the elimination?
I didn't catch all of that part of the episode, but I do think like she was the right woman to go home. And I thought it was funny when she said they lead with lameness. That was kind of funny.
I was on mute the whole time. Chad, stop. Erica, go ahead with your final
Okay,
conversation.
so what I was going to say about Emily and her thing was she started off good, saying, "What can I do to improve?" But then she was not ready to take no criticism. So I'm like, I was like, maybe, like you said, maybe had she had a better attitude, Donna would have went home. But she was just like, she's like, what can I do to improve? And then she gave him compliments on his shirt. They were made, I thought it looked like a referee shirt myself, but it was fine. It was fine.
While we
Referees can
was
be
at
sexy too.
What's
But
the name of the sneaker store with the referees?
Wait a minute. Hold on. We are not talking about
Foot Locker.
the Dick Show and Foot Locker.
exactly. Ain't nothing wrong with Locker.
Everybody's skate.
That's fine. But
Skate.
Skate. Once
Sorry.
he started giving her the feedback, that's when she flipped. So that was the thing where I'm like, okay, you don't think you did nothing wrong. Oh, they can't handle me. They can't handle this. They can't handle that. And I was like, well, that's the barrier. And I mean, I'm sure the resting bitch face did not help her.
Oh my God. Come on.
Did not help her receive it. But she put all her titties in a hug. So
okay.
I thought
Look, I feel like her breast was in her chin. But what I'm saying is this. Her breast was right there, kissing her chin. I was like, saying, is she in pain? I'm sorry. And I've been drinking, so I'm sorry. I was like, is she in hold on, Dina, hold on, wait. So two things I'm address. Her breast was at her chin. Yes, but him saying resting bitch face, I was like, these men are giving my girls call sassy because
straight man says
no man says that. Resting, I have to say this. That was giving. Why are you saying that? You could eliminate her without all the extra. I felt like the men were coming for Emily from the very first, before the first episode when they came out stage and saw him. Was like, oh hell no, Jazz, come on. I felt like they felt the way about her from the beginning, felt the way, and Tommy gave him a second chance, but she was the one that the cast wanted her to be gone. Chaz, be real. Yes, it's TV, it's reality TV, it's editing. I think they wanted her gone from the first time they saw her, from the time that we're live. You meet people.
Why do you think that?
Chaz, I tell people behind the scenes. Chaz, come on. Chaz, be honest.
But no, tell us why you
I'm not, Chaz. I'm not. I ain't that damn drunk. I'm not. I'm saying I think they wanted her gone from the first episode, but because they wanted to film and showed all the cast members, Chaz, don't be funny. You've been on the show before. Don't do that shit. You've been on the show before. Am I off kilter or am I on point?
No, you're on point. You're on point. But you could also see like during filming, she clearly didn't want to talk to certain people. Like she got up and said, "Let's go skate." To I forgot who she was talking to, but like she had a difficult personality, so I'm sure production wanted her out of there as quickly as possible. So I think that, along with the guys like not really receiving her well, and she's not really like acting like she even wants to be there, they just got rid of her.
But look,
And I will say the
go ahead,
cameraman did
Erica.
a good job of showing her resting bitch face. So
Oh my god.
even though that is something a woman would tell you and women say to each other,
Yes, we
even
do.
though that is definitely, it was no lie told though. It was still true.
But when you said that, Kamisha, like you're right. I've never heard me or my fellas ever saying that
No
particular
man,
phrase.
no man said. Okay, I'm sorry. Again, I'm not trying to shade another male, but I'm be honest. I come from old school, Louisiana, uncles or whatever. Chaz knows the same, and I know Ebby and Dina and Erica know the same. I've never heard a male say arresting this misprision. I've heard from other women, 1,000 women. I've never heard from a male. So yes, it was odd to hear that. Like, what? Because to me, I'm gonna be honest. If I'm in a circle of with eliminated people, and a man says that, I'm gonna say, "Bro, why are you saying that? That's weird that you're saying that." I'm not gonna lie. I would address that. So to me, that was odd. So I don't know. And no. Dina's kind of blurring the lines, but some of the men being might be,
Mhm.
in between, whatever. Look, I don't know about any of that. I'm just saying here, good for
I
you.
didn't
I
say
don't.
some. I said one in
Oh my
particular. I
God,
didn't say
Jesus
some.
Christ. Dina,
I'm
get your
pointing out
ass.
that one
Dina,
person.
get your ass on the mic. Dina, stop.
I'm not lumping
Oh
all
my
the
God.
other men in with that one particular man. I am not.
The
One.
point that I'm trying to make is that whether it's one or whatever with the blend, I'm saying that, oh my God. First of all, my panel is a beast. You get it, you don't. It is what it is. So whatever the kid may be, I feel like, and I know that 2025, I'm not young, that now men are actually using statements that the LGBTQ states, women states, and they're using it. No shade, but they are. And it's odd for women because for us, we've been there, done that. We've been with the community. We've been, So when a straight man says something like, "Oh, you doing shade," or "You the bitch face," we're like, excuse me. For us, for a lot of us older, it's weird, and so I don't know. I don't know what that means. And y'all can make the comments which y'all feel. I've been around so many old school straight and then a newer not straight. Maybe I'm just too old to understand. And so when the younger generation say statements like that, it's like, you're saying statements that the community state and Abby and Dina get what I'm saying when I say that. Y'all are saying statements the community state, we're questioning your sexuality. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. We might be wrong. Abby, what do you think about that? I'm just kind of curious about that. This is a different topic.
Yeah, it is a different topic. Um, him saying resting bitch face didn't send me into no spiral.
Mhm.
It is what it is.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, some of them is a little suspect on this particular season. Y'all looking a little suspect to
Okay.
me.
Mhm.
So yeah, and not even the dude who said rest in bitch face. He not even the one.
Okay.
Not for me.
Wow.
That was
Right.
like, oh, are you my sister? What is what's happening?
Mm.
You my
That's
brister?
sister.
What's
Damn.
going on?
She
What's
said
going
sister.
on, sir? Mm-hmm.
But
And
but
you my
Ebony, I know you are of a certain age. You understand what I'm saying? That straight men have certain phrases that we say, and then of course we know we have our
the
the
ones that be
community.
protesting so
You know what
hard
I'm
about
saying, Ebby? You know what I'm saying, Ebby? And
listen to
Dina
what
knows
I
well.
you listen to what I am saying. The
Okay.
ones that be so heavily protested too much about
Mm-hmm.
using the language like that's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be the thing that turns you gay, be the ones that was
Mm-hmm.
already gay to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So let's check under some of them
So
hoods.
those conversations, I would love to have because I was watching something where a woman was like, "Okay, my guy, he been 20 something years, but he's doing some odd stuff." Where I'm thinking, is he down low? There's a lot of discussions where women are like, "I don't know if my dude is." So we one day we're going to have a live about that because it's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
People avoid it, don't want to talk about it, and I understand why, but it is a thing. And one day we are going to have that discussion. Erica, your final thoughts about this whole situation because there's a lot going on.
Well, I do agree with Dina and Ebby. I think this particular person was his name Chris. I forgot the guy's name. He is somewhere on the, somewhere amidst the straight and the community spectrum.
Oh no.
I'm not
That's a
saying
lot.
he's
Oh,
somewhere along there. He could be a metrosexual. I'm not sure. So, but I see, Dina's point, and I did feel like I was surprised. It didn't send me into a spiral, but I was surprised with the resting bitch face comment because I was kind of like, that does seem like something the girls would say, but and it was something sort of like with the way he was sitting down, and it was a few little things with him where I was like, okay,
okay.
and but I do think at the end of the day, they weren't that into her, and she just didn't have a pleasant, sweet personality or whatever. She didn't snap off as hard as she could have, so she handled it. I mean, I feel like my thing is when someone gets eliminated, what I like to see for the men and the women is someone who takes the time to have some sort of self-reflection. Like, yeah, maybe you didn't click with anybody, but then also you asked for some feedback and you do have a stank attitude. So, and now when you get the feedback, you have an even more stank attitude. So it's like, okay, I guess you just said that to say something. So it's nice to see people even there when they're eliminated to be like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe I am closed off, or maybe I didn't open up quickly enough, or whatever. Just have some self-reflection. Maybe they are lames, but
Mm-hmm.
you had you had your own issues too, and I felt like she could have owned it, and at least Donna sort of tried to, or whatever. I don't know if she fully understood what people, weren't really liking about her, but I think she kind of understands, like, okay, yeah, you are judgmental. You did come at him a little harsh, pull back a little bit. So, I think she handled it in a way that was a little bit smoother. I don't know if I don't think that caused her to stay, but I just feel like I like people to show some self-reflection.
No, I agree with that too. That the self reflection is actually really really good. I really feel like that the people in the house, especially these first couple episodes, they are trying to do just that. I felt this season, honestly, um, again, yes, I was there for Detroit. It's not even the cast, the whole city and people coming out, their outfits, how they dress, it's crazy. And I don't mean in a bad way. They showed up, and if you haven't seen my recap, please go watch it because I show you guys the outfits that the people who came, who showed up for Detroit. It was crazy. I even got to meet Love and Mary Detroit cast members, and also of showing Detroit. Now, with that being said, I just interviewed Lauren. I interviewed Ashante. Her interview is already up, but the Lauren interview drops right after this live. Please go and check it out. Her interview was everything. She's an awesome individual. This cast to me, and I know that I trying to be biased. Of course, Dallas, because I'm in Texas, I was biased, but this last season was lackluster. I'm sorry, it was. And this season is bringing fashion, style, a little drama and unity. But watch this interview because she don't give too much, but she gives enough. All right, final thoughts. Starting with Dina. Dina.
I'm over it. Let's be
Oh
done with
Jesus
it.
Christ! Oh, not okay. Abby, Abby.
Yes.
How this season's not doing bad. I'm not. Go ahead, Abby.
Is there any niggas in the back? Any
Oh,
at all? Any extra one? Anyone you got hiding in your side pocket?
Mm.
Anything? Anybody? You ain't got no trip back there to promise me so I can be on. Okay. Where the prize is at?
Chaz. Chaz.
I I don't have anything.
Uh, Cha- Jesus Christ. Not somebody who's been on the show. Chaz, final thoughts of this season compared to last season, where everybody literally said hated it, and we're on a new season.
We hate this one too.
I like this season. I like
Who
the
said
cast
that?
of characters so far. I thought the skating thing was pretty cool. I like how they're
Hmm.
just playing around. Like they're being genuine. I like where it's going.
Erica.
I agree. I like where it's going. I'm not really a fan of group dates. I was totally confused about why are you showing me people in go karts where you have to put their names on there? Like, how is this?
Everybody's game.
Can I go to a commercial or whatever? I didn't even understand
Oh
that whole
Lord.
part, but they did show a few people having some discussions. Um, so I do feel like this season seems to have somewhat of an authenticity that some of the other cities didn't have. So I like that. So yes, I'm mostly liking it. I mean, I see what Ebby is saying. It wouldn't hurt to have a curveball, Tommy, throwing some curveballs, throwing some new random people that you just pop up in the middle if it gets too dry. But right now I'm liking the season.
Dina, final thoughts? Oh, I'm sorry. Abby,
Yes,
Chaz, final thoughts.
we've all given our final thoughts,
All
and
right. All right. So it's the end of the night. So you already know what it is, right? Preacher Abby, are you ready?
mm-hmm. All right, Lord, we are again in the same space, wondering what is going. Lord, please let somebody find something
Lord
that we
Jesus, please.
please, God, because this is terrible. I don't even see the point of this show because
Oh Lord.
don't nobody stay together. Lord, I'm asking that somebody find who you designed for them on this TV show. And if you do these things, do this
Somebody.
now. Amen. That's it. We done. Hit the
Amen.
button. Man.
Okay. With that, look, with her saying what she's saying, please, somebody this season. I hope to God Detroit. But after my interview with I just did, I
Ain't
think
none.
Abby, I think Abby is right. Nobody will find nobody. One thing I want you guys to know, and that nothing that will never change about this, I am the queen of reality TV. Don't get it twisted and don't doubt it.